The latest inflation figures give no cause for optimism, up to 3.1 for a year ago. Now, one of the principal causes of this is food prices. Now, in the studio today, we've got an expert on food prices and food generally, Sean Rickard. Now, Sean, what's going on?
Well, the major influence on retail food prices are agricultural prices. And agricultural prices, particularly the prices of grains and sugars, are rising very rapidly at the moment. So what we've seen at the moment in the inflation figures is the immediate effect of the knock-on effect on bread, cereals and bakery products. But cereals, of course, are a major input into feeding animals, and therefore we can expect in the coming months to see higher food prices for dairy products and meat products.
This doesn't sound very optimistic, does it? Can you give me some kind of long-term trends?
Well, I think the long-term trends are rather worrying. We have enjoyed in this country and across Europe more than 30 years of the prices of food rising at a slower rate than general inflation. That means the affordability of food has been improving and the average household has steadily reduced the proportion of their income they spend on food. That situation is now reversed, and I think it's reversed for many years. We are entering a new era when the price of food, retail food prices, are going to rise faster than the general rate of inflation. This means that the affordability of food is going to deteriorate, and it is particularly worrying over the next 3 or 4 years when we face wage cuts, or certainly wage freezes, and higher levels of unemployment.
So this is going to be a pretty unpopular thing then?
Going to be a very unpopular thing, and really our only solution to control it is to increase the world's supply of food. The main problem that's going on is that developing countries are growing very rapidly, and what we know is that as incomes rise from $2 a day to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, people's diets change. They want more meat and they want more dairy products. Unfortunately, the amount of land we have in the world for growing food is not growing, and therefore if we are going to meet this additional demand, we have to greatly increase the output from each hectare of land in the world. But unfortunately, we're having to do that against rising energy prices. They're a big impact on fertilizers. We're running short of fresh water, and climate change is the enemy of high yields. So if we are to control our food prices in the future, one thing's very clear: we need a new green revolution. We need to bring science and technology and best management practices to bear on the production of food. It's going to be a very different world producing food over the next 20 years than it's been over the last.
Is there any sign that this is actually going to happen?
Well, there are small signs. Unfortunately, we in this country here and in Europe, we're almost still living in the 1990s when we believed the problem was an oversupply of food. And frankly, we've spent the last 15 or 20 years encouraging farmers to produce less, to become less efficient, to become less productive. We put the emphasis on producing the countryside rather than producing food. I predict that what we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years is the arrival of genetic modification in Europe. We're going to see much larger scale, highly efficient farms, and we are going to see continuing decline of the small, inefficient family farm.
So a gloomy message then in conclusion?
Well, depends where you're coming from. We're sitting here in the eastern region of the United Kingdom, and all this of course spells higher agricultural prices and better times for the farmers and indeed for the food industry. And I would have said it's going to be better for scientists and technologists, and who knows, perhaps even management schools will start to take an interest in the management of the food supply.
And the poor old consumer is last on that list.
Well, consumers are very fortunate that, certainly in this country and in Europe, they're very fortunate that really there's no prospect of them ever running short of food. They may have to pay more for their food, And it may be that they'll have to forego some of the other things they've spent their income on over recent years in order to buy their food in the future. But of course, much more seriously, looking around the world, is that unless we manage to produce a great deal more food from the existing area of land, many people are going to be malnourished, many people are going to go hungry, and I suspect we will see a lot of food riots and a lot of trouble.
Some serious issues to address. Thank you very much, Sean.